Good day, everyone. Welcome to another session of Yoga for the Upper Body with Jim. I'm obviously Jim. Maybe that's not obvious. But let's come to a comfy seat today. Sitting up on a block or a cushion, wherever you need to be. I'm going to skip the cushion and block. I want you to close your eyes down. Visualize in your head where those shoulders are aligning over your hips. Pull your ears back over your shoulders. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and let them roll back down. When I say down the spine, what I mean is they pull back and lower. Now that we've assumed a nice meditative seat, let's take a deep inhale with our core engaged, but I want you to fill up all the way into the belly. And then just audibly exhale. Let it all go. Deep inhale. Audible exhale. Maybe on this inhale, you sit up a little bit taller. Now try to maintain that height after the exhale. And let's start with the upper part of our spine today, the cervical spine. So we're going to take some work in our neck area. So the upper part is that part from between the shoulder blades up to the base of the skull. So we're going to work on our neck. So go ahead and let your chin come to your chest. Keeping those shoulders back, I want you to visualize a lengthening from between your shoulder blades to the base of the skull. As you're visualizing that lengthening, I want you to engage a 4-count breath. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 4. And I'll provide a couple counts just so you get used to it. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a quick pause at the top with that breath retained. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 5 more breaths at that pace. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. I'm going to slowly rotate on the next 4-count inhale. Slowly rotate the right ear to the right shoulder. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Chin back to chest. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale when you get there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right ear. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now pause here for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to go all the way across. 4, 3, 2, 1. Left ear's at left shoulder. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause here. And let's do 2 more. That slow, though. Try to keep it that slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Across. Hold. Chin to chest. How does that feel? Let's go the other direction now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Chin to the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right shoulder to right ear. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back down. 4 count, chin to chest. Let's go 1 more loop, pausing at each shoulder. Slowly chin to the sky, right shoulder. Chin to chest. Give yourself a moment here. Notice any changes to how your neck was feeling before we came into class. Maybe it feels a little bit tighter. Maybe it feels looser. I don't want to put words into your mind about how you feel. So how do you feel in that area? That shoulders, base of the spine, base of the skull. Now take 3 fingers and push your head up. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then we're going to do some circles with our spine. So we're going to start off going to the right. So I want you to kind of tilt to the right. Shoulders come forward as we go to the left, and then arching our spine here as we pull into our hands, and then continue to go right to left. If you went the other way, perfectly okay, no rush. Let's do 4 this way. This is number 3, so 1 more. Maybe you take a stop here with your knees. Next time you arch your spine. And then slowly come to the left, and then we're going to start going back the other way. Go to the right. Or if you went the opposite, just go the opposite direction you went in. So that's 2, 3, 4. Come back to center, sit up tall. Scan your spine and see how that felt. Probably a lot of activity here in the lower back as we were moving forward and backward. And then while we're here in the seat, I want you to take your hands, place them in front of you, and slowly kind of pull yourself till you feel a little bit of a tug in the lower back. Now, I don't want you to overdo it, but please find your spot. Keep those sit bones grounded and try to keep your spine as straight as you can. So it helps sometimes if you pull and push at the same time here. And we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. I want you to breathe into your lower back. So breathe and visualize that breath going to your lower back, encouraging it to relax. That's the second breath. 2 more breaths. Try to keep that 4 count breath as we do this. That's 4. And instead of just lifting up, I want you to push yourself up. Slide your hands back as you push yourself back up to a seat. And then take your attention to that lower back, noticing how it feels. So one trick I want to tell you about today is when we're doing something like that, I want you to engage your core. When we engage our core, we lengthen our spine. It's much like when you engage your quads, you lengthen your hamstrings. Same principle. So engage your core and let's tilt forward one more time. So pull yourself forward with that core engaged and notice any difference you might see. Maybe with the core engaged, you feel like you can go a little bit further. Just continue to hold. 4 breaths with that core engaged. Last breath here. Push yourself up. And maybe you start engaging that slight constriction in the back of the throat. So when you are breathing in and out, you hear your breath. So engage that and you'll hear it sound like an ocean wave crashing on the shore. So inhale, exhale. I don't know if that comes through in the mics or not, but inhale, exhale. It sounds really loud in my head, so not sure if you hear that or not. But let's go ahead and come to our hands and knees. We're going to come to a tabletop position. I think my dog's been using my yoga mat as a bed. In this tabletop, we're going to start off with our core engaged, spine as straight as it can be, right? And then we're going to inhale, drop the belly, go to cow. And then we're going to exhale, push in, suck the gut in, arch your spine, tuck your tail, cat pose. Inhale back. Exhale, cat. 4 count breath, remember that. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 1 more breath here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees out as wide as you need to here. And I want you to push your bum back and slowly lower your forehead down, trying to come to a child's pose. Now, what I want you to pay attention to here is that stretch across your bum and into your lower back and up your spine. And then reach with your hands and notice how your muscles on the side here reach and stretch. I think I promised you guys a down dog this week, so we're going to get there. But first, we're going to push our hands in, come all the way forward. A little bit of a plank. Engage your glutes here. So that's the backside body here. So we're going to engage our core, engage our glutes. We're going to tuck our toes. And we're going to slowly lift our hips up and back as we push into our hands, coming to a downward facing dog. Now, when you get to that first down dog, maybe you want to pedal out your feet. What we're looking for here is a little bit of a stretch across the lower back and your shoulders and possibly down into your hamstrings.
So hold this. Now I want you to kind of relax into your shoulders a little bit. Push your weight into your fingertips to relieve the pressure on your wrists. And come up onto your tippy toes here and lower those heels back down as much as you can. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to take a deep breath in here in down dog. And then we're going to slowly walk to the top of our mat and meet in forward fold. So slowly use all 4 counts of that breath to get there. Now, when you get to forward fold, if you need to, make sure you have some blocks there. If your hands don't reach the floor, give yourself some support so you can relax into the pose. Sorry, my beard is getting into my mouth this morning. So as you're here in that forward fold, I'm going to turn to face you so you can see something. So I'm going to inhale. I'm going to come up just a little bit. And notice my knees are bent here. I'm going to turn maybe this way. So my knees are bent. You don't have to be straight-legged. So bend your knees a little bit. Give yourself some grace and fold forward again. And we're going to come to a halfway lift. So halfway lift, we're going to slide our palms up our shin. We're going to use our hamstrings and our glutes to lift. And then we're going to exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. I want you to pay close attention to glutes and hamstrings here as you do it one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Are you able to feel the muscles in your bum and hamstrings engaging as you lift up? And we're going to pedal out, kind of go back and forth on the knees here. Straightening one, bending the other. Not necessarily a rhyme or reason to it, just kind of doing it to notice. Knees bent, how does your hamstrings feel? Straight legged, how do your hamstrings feel? I personally feel it more with the straight leg. You can feel that stretch possibly from the bottom of your heel all the way up through the backside of your leg. I have a little bit of an unfair advantage. I actually have been diagnosed with hypermobility, so I'm a little more bendy than most. So one more breath in, forward fold. I know we've been upside down for a little bit here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step back to plank. We're not going to do a chaturanga, but I want you to shift over, engage your core, squeeze your bum together, and then push back, downward facing dog. Now see, after that forward fold, if down dog gets a little more approachable, maybe you felt a lengthening in the backs of your legs now. Maybe your heels get a little bit closer to the ground. So we're going to inhale forward, plank, and then we're going to drop our knees. Bring your big toes to touch. Push back to child's pose. Child's pose. In a resting position, I want you to take your attention to the backs of your hamstrings. Backs of your legs, the hamstring area, sorry. Do you feel like maybe you got a little bit taller? That's how I always feel it. I feel like I've gotten taller. Scan your body. Notice how that feels. Now we're going to add another forward fold for you today. We're going to come back to plank on our knees. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog on an exhale. Take an inhale. I want you to take and step to the top of your mat to forward fold. On the exhale, maybe you notice that step forward was a little bit easier. And then I want you to turn to the long side of your mat and take your feet out really wide. Staying in the forward fold if you can. Use your hands or blocks. So now we are out wide. Feet are perpendicular to the short edges of your mat. Then I want you to take an inhale, come up onto your fingertips, engage your quads, and slowly bend forward. Now maybe you notice the same lengthening along the backs of your hamstrings here. You might have done this wide-legged forward fold. We're going to add some movement to breath here. Inhale tall. Fingertips come to the mat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. And hold. Notice what you feel in the backs of your legs. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit and you go a little bit deeper, keeping a micro bend. And then we're going to turn to face the opposite edge you were at before. Coming to kind of a runner's lunge. Step the right foot back. Lower your knees, coming all the way down to your belly. I told you last week we missed our core work. Can't do it 2 weeks in a row. So we're going to roll over onto our backs here. And we'll do a few rounds. Let's go 5 of core exercises. And then we'll be going to our final resting pose. So I'm going to roll over here. You guys join me. If you want to skip the ab work, feel free. Look, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. It used to not be mine. So we're going to lift our knees, our hands up. Inhale, knees into center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Use your core to pull you up. Exhale, left. Again, use these oblique muscles here to pull you up. Inhale, squeeze your core, crunch. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lower, Exhale, legs long. Hold those heels up off the ground. That's 1 rep. So inhale, knees in. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, down. Exhale, long. That's 2. You got 3 more. Inhale, in. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. Exhale, long. 2 more. Inhale, in. Notice the slowness. The slowness actually brings a little bit of intensity into your core work by holding those muscles engaged a little bit longer. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. Exhale, long. All right, last one. Make it hard. Inhale, knees in. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Squeeze those core muscles as you're moving. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. Exhale long. Let it all go. Give yourself a hip shimmy. Whatever you need. Set up for your final resting pose. Good work, everybody. So today we experimented with lengthening our hamstrings through a few yo-yo poses, and we actually, we engaged our breath to 4 counts, did some circles, lubricating and getting our lower back moving. Just relax everything. Slowly start engaging your movement and your fingers and toes. Maybe rocking your head left and right. Maybe giving your glutes a little pinch and giving yourself a hip shimmy here. Reach overhead, gradually trying to wake back up. Big stretch and exhale. Roll over to whatever side's calling you today. Using that bottom arm as a pillow. See how you feel after our practice, just sealing it all in. We're going to push ourselves up to a seat here. Come to a seat, eyes closed, chin lowered, palms together at heart center. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate each and every week with you. I bow to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.